Eating the dogs, the people that came in, they're eating the cats, they're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country.
How's it? Hang loose. Welcome to Mongoose Max Hawaii, the channel. Haha. Okay, today is September 11th. Wednesday. There's no Toastmaster today. Yeah, it's September 11th. Not to demean, it's been 23 years since they bombed the World Trade Center, the Pentagon, and the plane that was supposed to go into that went down. It's supposed to be the White House, and 23 years. It was a significant thing. Not gonna dwell on it too much, not to downplay it. But yeah, a quick one. I was in 2001. I had a pager because I couldn't receive phone calls because the witch was blocking the phone. So I had to get pagered in order to move over, talk to my friends. So that day, I got a page in the middle of the night, like 2:30 in the morning, something like that. It was my friend Chip, and he was off on the mainland on a business trip. And I see the phone number. I call him up. I was like, only I would respond to Chip at 2 in the morning. So he's like, Chip says, "Hi, they bombed the Pentagon," is what he said. And I'm on the phone, and I said, "Yeah, and this is Godzilla's Pizza." And he says, "No, turn on CNN." So I turned on CNN. He says, "What do you see?" Because he was out in a building across the street from the Pentagon. So the plane hit the Pentagon, and they just thought a bomb went off in the Pentagon. And they're like, I guess I imagine underneath the desks. So I turned on the CNN, and I said, well, I see the Twin Towers, except one of them looked like a matchstick that was just blown out. It was blackened on the top and smoldering. It looks like kind of like... And then I looked closer, and I said, aren't there supposed to be 2 towers? And then there was only one, and then that one collapsed on news live in front of me. And I said, guys, that's an act of war. That's what I said. And I said, that's worse than Pearl Harbor. That's what I said. Because it's civilian, not Pearl Harbor is military. And then it played over and over again. And so wherever there's a 9-1, 23 years ago. So anyways, the main focus here is going to be the debate. And Satan. Satan, probably. Hopefully not too much of that. But so Kamala Harris, the current vice president, and the former president Donald Trump, who still thinks he never still elected someone, debated on stage, no audience, muted mics, and I can't cover the whole freaking thing. I got tons and tons of clips. I don't know how I'm going to do this. How about
over 20 states, there are Trump abortion bans, which make it criminal for a doctor or nurse to provide health care. In one state, it provides prison for life. Trump abortion bans that make no exception even for rape and incest, which
like that. And just a minute before the muted mic, So I believe overall Kamala Harris won. And I'm not saying that because of the talking heads, because you'll hear lots of talking heads. I'm saying she kind of basically won, because what did Donald Trump want in that debate? He wanted to be the big, strong guy that insults Kamala Harris, and and his buddies with these giant leaders like Kim Jong-un, Boris Yeltsin, or is this Vladimir or whatever, the Putin, what the fuck, the Soviet guy.
Hag.
So he's buddies with them, and these wars would never happen. And you vote for me, and the other person, if you vote for them, it's gonna be a disaster and economy. So he's kind of trying to put that forward. So you vote for him and not vote for her.
It is well known that he said of Putin that he can do whatever the hell he wants and go into Ukraine. It is well known that he said when Russia went into Ukraine, it was brilliant. It is well known he exchanged love letters with Kim Jong-un. And it is absolutely well known that these dictators and autocrats are rooting for you to be president again because they're so clear. They can manipulate you with flattery and favors.
Thinking he slam dunks this with his technique.
But if she ever got elected, she'd change it. And it will be the end of our country. She's a Marxist. Everybody knows she's a Marxist. Her father's a Marxist professor in economics, and he taught her well. But when you look at what she's done to our country, and when you look at these millions and millions of people that are pouring into our country monthly, where it's, I believe, 21 million people, not the 15 that people say, and I think it's a lot higher than the 21. That's bigger than New York State pouring in. And just look at what they're doing to our country. They're criminals. Many of these people coming in are criminals. And that's bad for our economy, too. You know, you mentioned before.
And Kamala Harris kind of reversed all that stuff a lot of it. So she went up and greeted him like right up to the front the first time they met. So she went up and shook hands. And, hello. And then she went back to her thing. So that's all. He's already on his heels. And she also knew what he was going to say. Said it outright. Oh, he's just gonna play his old lies and his old playbook, and we gotta just turn the page. To be clear, turn the page. That was catchphrase. Turn the page. And then to be clear, and then she threw some of that stuff out there. You know here's some of this. Okay, one. Okay, she did throw the trials in there. What's he's up to?
For national security crimes, economic crimes, election interference, has been found liable for sexual assault, and his next big court appearance is in November at his own criminal sentencing. And let's be clear where each person stands on the issue of what is important about respect for the rule of law and respect for law enforcement. The former vice president called for defunding federal law enforcement, 45,000 agents, get this, on the day after he was arraigned on 34 felony counts. So let's talk about what is important in this race. It is important that we move forward.
And then after the trials, how he's gonna be the crime.
They've destroyed the fabric of our country. Millions of people let in, and all over the world, crime is down all over the world except here. Crime here is up and through the roof. Despite their fraudulent statements that they made, crime in this country is through the roof. And we have a new form of crime. It's called migrant crime, and it's happening at levels that nobody thought possible.
And and we can't forget. Trump saying that those horrible immigration, because all the immigrants are criminals, they're from the insane asylum and they eat dogs.
Eating the dogs, the people that came in, they're eating the cats, they're eating the pets of the people that live there.
And so, wait, don't stop the mic. Mute. So, and of course there's things like the abortion issue. And there's different things.
James.
There's a couple of them that I think are going to stick out for people. One of them is when they had this report that came out about withdrawing from Afghanistan, which is a thing that Trump started. He started to negotiate the withdrawal from Afghanistan. So he set up this deal in place. So when Biden came on the scene, he had to make it quick, and he's just like, okay, let's just get out of there fast. Let's just go nowhere. It's a no-end solution. I mean, there's no end to that. Just get out of there is the only solution. So she brought up that he worked with the Taliban. He ignored the government, worked with the Taliban.
Look at that period of time. The Taliban was killing our soldiers, a lot of them, with snipers. And I got involved with the Taliban because the Taliban was doing the killing. That's the fighting force within Afghanistan. They don't bother doing that because, they deal with the wrong people all the time. But I got involved. And Abdul is the head of the Taliban. He is still the head of the Taliban. And I told Abdul, don't do it anymore. You do it anymore, you're going to have problems.
The very people who had Osama Bin Laden, the very people who did 9/11 with that, what's his name, Osama, it was hanging with the Taliban.
Directly with a terrorist organization called the Taliban. The negotiation involved the Taliban getting 5,000 Taliban terrorists released. And get this. And the president at the time invited the Taliban to Camp David, a place of storied significance for us as Americans, a place where we honor the importance of American diplomacy, where we invite and receive respected world leaders. And this former president, as president, invited them to Camp David.
So, all in all, I don't, Jesus. But I think it shows that Trump is just trying to put down Harris, and he doesn't have a plan. And Kamala Harris is throwing out there, we want to do this for you, and we want to do this for you, and we want to do good for the people. And she's throwing out the plans. There's a couple boring bits. So all that show was detrimental to Trump. And all that little boring bits were actual solid issue foundations that people gave it. And so it looked like Kamala Harris is the leader. And she called him out on stuff.
Lindsay, I just need to respond to a previous point that the former president has made. I've made very clear my position on fracking. And then this business about taking everyone's guns away. Tim Walz and I are both gun owners. We're not taking anybody's guns away. So stop with the continuous lying about this stuff.
Jesus. There's just way too much stuff. And of course, she's looking like a presidential material.
And I'll tell you, as a prosecutor, I never asked a victim or a witness, are you a Republican or a Democrat? The only thing I ever asked them, are you okay? And that's the kind of president we need right now.
And Trump's thing is, you're the worst ever.
In a third world war, and it'll be a war like no other because of nuclear weapons, the power of weaponry. I rebuilt our entire military. She gave a lot of it away to the Taliban. She gave it to Afghanistan. What these people have done to our country, and maybe toughest of all, is allowing millions of people to come into our country. Many of them are criminals, and they're destroying our country. The worst president, the worst vice president in the history of our country.
So let me just say that's about the size of that. I almost wasted all my time. I'll do this really quick. Is this recording? I hope so. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we do have, Hawaii does have news too, Okay. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, it's the same news. Let's look at Hawaii news real fast. Okay, it's a high-stakes face-off. It's true, because they placed so much emphasis on the prior debate where Biden did come across, he was tired, and Trump was on him like a dog, and he came across bad in the debate, which brought up everyone questioning him on the Democratic side too.
Please go.
So he bowed out. So now there's Harris. Now he's like, I'm going to do it to her too. And I think he failed. I think he didn't do it. He doesn't want to do another debate. He thinks he won. I won this debate.
To your left.
Okay, sports. It's Wahine volleyball. Busybodies. There is some football, but whatever. It's all Wahine volleyball. I guess because they're winning. I'm not really following it too closely. None of this too closely. How about, relax back in the day? Remember back in the day when you want to relax, just 1977, just put on your kamikaze headband, and I am Tonto, and I have this on my skateboard. This is test rider Milton Elite Skateboards, and this accessory called sky hooks. You keep your feet in place and you sky hook it. That's right. You can get them too. Oh, look. Oh, it's Wednesday. I'm not used to Wednesday. No Toastmaster today. Oh, they're still going up on Haiku Stairs, which is down. So here, let's do that one. Get tough on hikers still climbing Haiku Stairs. Some of the 14 hikers recently caught trespassing on Haiku Stairs had ropes to assist them in achieving their goal of reaching the top of the stairs, showing that they have blatantly... Oh, where are we now? What happened? That they blatantly ignored the no trespassing signs with no real meaningful consequences.
What do you want?
Meaningful consequences, that's what. So far for violating the no trespassing ordinance, hikers will continue to ignore the signs that for that selfie of them at the top of the stairs. It also...
Not likely.
Yes, likely. Also could be considering as taunting law enforcement officials as... I suggest that the book be thrown at these scuffles and they be given the maximum penalty allowed under the law, both monetarily and in jail time. Their names and photos should be circulated on social media and the news to discourage others from climbing the stairs and to show that no trespassing means exactly that. Dennis Kamura Miliani. Well, thank you, Dennis.
Bloody.
Yeah, we should have them pillared. Pillory. What is it? Put their names in the paper. They're the ones that did it. Cancel them on social media.
Okay.
Okay? Alright. Well, that's it. I think we're not going to quite be able to put the debate behind us because there's going to be a bunch of talking heads. So, sorry, a little bit of it from here. And anyways, it is what it is. Okay. Oh, I got to push the right button. I'm all lost. Okay. Aloha. Have a nice Wednesday. Look, the sun's out. Oh, it's going to be so hot today. Oh, boy. No more trade winds, too. Okay, Vanessa Black, I guess. Aloha. Aloha to you now. Aloha.